there's a moment, I don't know if I've ever addressed this. They incorrectly attributed this to, at the time I was going through it with, I go through it with a lot of people, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
I was going through it with Desus and Miro, okay? But in reality, that was around the
Two
time
of the
when...
nicest guys ever. Jesus.
They weren't nice to me. Fuck 'em. Anyway, the whole point was that we're going through this whole thing where they're trying to figure out if you're going to stay. You're telling me these things, which, by the way, I can't, like, there was something that even though we'd have these conversations outside the complex, literally outside the doors, and then I'll go home and I would say to myself, nah, Joe must be playing. Like, nah, he's going to be here, man. Like, he can't go anywhere. And I kept holding on to that. And there was a moment I think I got emotional on camera, on stream, like one of the rare times. And I think they were like, yo, Deej and Mary made you cry. And I was like, no, that's not what it was. I was like, there was a moment that I felt everything I was working for in this career, I felt I got. And I got over all the little petty things of, oh, Ak, I think Joe's sunning you on camera. I'm like, no, we got it now. Like, this shit is the hit. And when you were gonna leave, I was like I remember talking to Complex, and the only conversations was, how could we keep this? And when I felt I couldn't do anything else to keep it, it just felt, it's one of those like horrible feelings where it's like, it's falling apart in front of my eyes, and I couldn't do anything. Now, we still had a good relationship, but it's like, I'm looking at Complex, I'm looking at you, I'm like, yo, how make it work?
But you did. And y'all did.
No.
Yeah.
Nah, Joe.
I'm telling you.
Because what I wanted, I feel like in the fucking rafters, we got the Breakfast Club, we got Star and Buckwild. And even though I would say we worked for 9 months. It's April to December.
I've said I'm well documented, and it's the best show ever.
I feel like we're there too, but I wanted the run. I wanted the run so fucking bad.
Me too. I did too.
Joe.
See, and that's the problem. You have to know that I wanted to run too.
No, you did. You wanted to run under your terms.
Not under my terms. Do us right. See, that's the other misconception. I'm never going in there yelling and screaming so Joe can be done right. I've been homeless. I'll be fine. I got people's house I can sleep at if times get hard. I'm fighting for y'all to do the right thing by us, the people that made the show. You know how many times I went there and fought for Nadeska rights? Like, you said all that at my podcast, and I went home and thought about some of that shit. It was your perspective, so it's fine. You know how many times I've gone in there and fought?
Quick plug, if you haven't seen, and unless Joe edit demons it out, it's about 3 hours of content. There's going to be...
3.5. It's like 3:45.
Yeah, 3:45. I think it's meant for his Patreon. You might catch a couple moments on YouTube, but go check that out.
I let Ak come over there and let me have it. I let him just lay it all on the line and give it to me. He's one of the only people I allow to do that. All you other niggas relax. But yeah, you know how many times I went there and fought for Nadeska's rights? Maybe without her even knowing. I'm talking about from big boss to the next big boss to the... You know how many times I fought for Chop's rights?
But here's the real thing about that, though. A lot of times, especially...
Your rights.
In a situation like that,
fuck?
No matter what, you don't leave.
That's not true.
Like...
You have to leave.
I think that's where, I was disagreeing. I'm like, Joe.
Ak, you a boss now. So honestly, look back at the show.
Yes.
Think about the whole setup, the infrastructure. Think about the building, what was going on in there. Think about how many shows were there. Think about our place in those shows and what it was delivering and what it potentially could deliver if you ever got the ad side of this right on this show. And now think about what you were being paid, what I was being paid.
Bullshit. It was petty. It's just bullshit.
What the mic people, sound people were being paid, what Lyric and them was being paid.
You're right. But in business, there's something, and unfortunately this exists. We have to be realistic, especially when there's a contract already in place, that you operate in good faith. That after you've completed the contract, the subsequent deals and offers and contracts will be better. You stop playing ball in 9 months.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. I stopped playing ball when that Friday shenanigans shit went on.
So like 6 months in.
Yeah, before.
Yo, Joe.
Because who dictates good faith? That's not good faith. That's not good faith. See, with me, I know the price. When you're responsible for building like shows and chemistry and just building anything for that matter, like you know that the price of the brick has to eventually go up.
Right.
You know that.
But then let me ask you a question.
So now you go to the people that are responsible with raising the price, and they don't want to raise it. They're adamant against it. Got 20 million reasons why they shouldn't raise it. All right, I don't have a choice but to leave.
Clear it up for me.
Give it to me.
This is what they've always told me. They said, act. Because, I actually went in there, and it was the dumbest decision I probably did. And good thing I made up for it. Well, you made up for it because you left. So they were like, oh, no, we got to keep him. But there was a time when there was negotiation happening, and you were talking on the side. And I go into them, and I said, listen, man, as long as I make this amount, I'm straight.
Oh, my God.
Give the rest to Joe.
Whoa.
I thought, yes, it is a whoa.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes.
Don't you ever do that. Don't you ever do that again.
Yo, don't you remember the NBA where like this one basketball player was like, yo, I'll take the pay cut to keep the guy.
Yes, don't you ever.
It didn't really work out with the Clippers.
Again.
I think it was like Elton. I can't remember what it was.
Cause don't do that. Because in my plan, either everybody gonna get paid or you gonna get paid. And that's what happened when I left.
But I was looking at the show being so big that we were gonna eventually end up on TV, linear, and they would have to spend the money like I do believe they're spending on, say, sneaker shoppers or hot ones, definitely hot ones.
But they're spending that on these shows because they have all the rights to these shows, and that's where Joe's business relationship always gets a little bumpy, because I come in and I'm a success, and then you see how much of a success it is, and then you want the rights to other things. And Joe says no every time.
Joe.
So that couldn't have happened, right? I would have rolled around that floor had they went and got a TV deal and our contract said what it said about TV rights and what we're paid for. Are you kidding me? That show will never go on TV.
Let me ask you straight up. Did you ask for a piece of Complex?
No.
That's what was...
That was the silliest thing.
So they told me, they say, yo...
Because they're stupid, and they just said, not they, but that's stupid. That is stupid.
Because
Complex was going under. Who wanted a piece of Complex?
but shit, at that point, it was still evaluated to at least be about like Sprint and Budden for like $200 million for 1/3 of it.
I wasn't there early enough to ask for a piece of Complex, nor did I think that.
That's what I thought.
Nor did I think that our show gave me the leverage to ask for a piece of Complex. No. I was asking for shorts with Complex. I went to work for what was that, 22 grand a month? 19 after I paid Ian. And in my next cycle, I wanted it to double. I wanted 50 grand. That's what I wanted.
Not in December.
When my contract was over, I wanted 50 grand a month.
No, not in December? No way.
Yes.
That's not true, Joe.
And they came back.
We got Joe. This is off the record.
I know. I have emails. I have receipts. It'll never come out because that's not how I do business today. But no, they came back and said something like 40. And I said, 40?
They would have gave you 50 grand a month.
They didn't.
4 times a week, every week.
That was my point.
You sure, Joe?
You saying,
50
and this
grand?
be my beef with you. You watch them not pay $300 for a security guard.
I know.
What do you think the difference is?
Because they started to realize, number one, how hard it was to replace you. They went into crisis mode. And I think they had to do so many different things that if it was an additional 10 grand a month, they, I believe, would have paid you.
They didn't, and they wouldn't. And that's what that was about.